Welcome back everyone to another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be doing a really simple test. I've recently been configuring world generation settings and testing around with depths and height scale, which are two factors that you can change for any biome, which basically affect what their base forming height is and how much they vary from that height. And I've had really successful results so far and some really cool tests, so I thought we'd do some little things on a video here for you guys to see for yourselves, because I've had quite a bit of fun with it. One of the first things that I tried was increasing the depth scale of mountains, so you can see these mountains in the background. These are actually vanilla mountains. This is just how they spawn normally. They are quite cool actually, these ones. They've got like a nice little valley in the middle here. But as you can see, the majority of the time, the mountains are not actually that mountainous. You can see here we're at Y72, which isn't really far away from the sea level down here of only around Y63. So basically what I tried to do was increase the height scale, or not the height scale. Well, I tried both. I tried height scale and depth of mountains to see if we could get any more authentic looking mountains. And the results were really good actually. I was really pleased to see that the mountains started to look really good with only a few minor tweaks to how they form. So in today's episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be editing the depth scale values for plains, forest, river, ocean, and mountains. 5 really common biomes that you can quite easily find that all have quite interesting values. Now, I've picked these values because oceans and rivers seem to be rather interesting in the way that they form, and I'm interested to see how we can affect those values. So first of all, plains have a depth scale in vanilla of 0.125. That seems to be a relatively simple thing right there. Forest, interestingly enough, has a depth value of 0.1, so technically 0.025 less than plains. I would have always just assumed that plains and forest were the same, but it turns out plains are actually a tiny bit more hilly than forests, apparently, which does make sense, to be fair, as you can see by the difference in terrain here. Thank you, Minecraft World Generation. That's very helpful. We also have rivers, which have a depth scale of minus 0.5, oceans that have minus 1, and mountains that have 1, as in just a positive 1. So what I'm going to be doing today is trying around some different values with all of these biomes and seeing what kind of results we get. Okay, so I've just teleported myself to a new area. As you can see here, we have been traveling around quite a bit. Unfortunately, the way that this works is that I think this has worked well already. Oh, it has. Nice. Okay. Yes, the way that this works already is that you have to basically teleport really far into some new unloaded terrain to see the new terrain changes as you'd expect to see them. What biome is this? This is ocean. There's poppies in oceans. What the heck is up with this? This is weird. So yeah, for this test, all I did was I reduced the depth scale of every biome on our list to 0.1, which is the same depth scale as the forest. And already it's looking kind of weird. This is ocean right now. We're actually in an ocean biome. That's why the color of the grass is so odd. I guess this must have spawned on the beach, I guess? I don't know. That's so odd. Can I just say that I hate the fact that netherrack spills out from these broken portals, but that's not how netherrack works in vanilla. Like, I wish that netherrack actually spilled from portals. It'd be a really interesting mechanic to play around with. So yeah, we've got ocean here, we've got river. Oh, this is a river. Okay. This is a river right here, hence why it's so green. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be running like through there, but it just didn't work properly. That is so odd. It's really interesting how you... Oh, what is that? That looks really nice. It's really odd how you can get really good results with these, like, without really doing much. And as you can see, we're still getting oceans. This is just the deep oceans, isn't it? Yeah, this is deep ocean, hence why it's such a massive drop-off there. Because usually, all of these areas where you see the dark green grass would be a regular ocean, and there'd be a drop-off, a more casual drop-off onto the deep ocean here. But instead, yeah, look, a tiny pocket of regular ocean in the middle, just like an island. This is kind of cool in itself. This does bring me to the point, by the way. Every single time I do one of these is going to be available for a download in the description. It's not going to be a data pack in itself, just the files that you need. So if you know what to do with them, you can have some fun with that. I don't understand why pumpkins spawn in ocean biomes. Is that a thing? I guess it must be. That is so odd. There's an ocean ruin. I mean, that makes sense, because they should really spawn in oceans, shouldn't they? So I guess we have ocean ruins now. It's got drowned coming out of it as well. He's going to burn. Yeah. That is so sad. That's really cool. I want to find a mountain biome. Let's see if we can find a mountain. I'm sure we've already seen one. It probably just looks really weird. Oh no, 1,200 blocks away. Okay, maybe we'll have some fun with this. So this is mountains at the same depth scale as forests. Unfortunately, with these strange experimental world generation properties, you do have issues loading in the terrain because the game has to like generate it in an unorthodox manner, I guess is probably a good way of describing it. So it can be a bit strange, but you can see here we've got so this is mountains. You can see how low down it is, and then we come up here to wooded mountains, and it's the regular height of mountains. What is this, like extreme mountains? Oh no, this is just still regular mountains. Oh no, it's wooded mountains here, hence why it's been lifted up so much. That is so odd. I love it. So not really much change to plains or forests as expected, but we have oceans that exist on the land, and we have rivers that didn't really work. Well, that was an interesting test, but definitely not the coolest thing we're going to see today. So for the next test, we're going to make oceans and we're going to make rivers really, really high, I think. I think that's what we're going to do anyway. We'll find out. So for our third test, or I guess this is kind of the second test because the first one was just vanilla, we've teleported out another 100,000 blocks, and now we have... Oh. So this time, mountains have a depth scale of minus 0.5, so mountains are effectively oceans. Look at the stone shore. Wait, is this stone shore? Yeah, this is Stone Shore. The Stone Shore is a little island on the middle. We also have rivers that come up quite high. You can tell by the shade of grass there. That's definitely a river. And we also have oceans. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oceans and mountains now. So oceans now have a depth scale of 1.0. So oceans and rivers should now technically be mountains, and mountains should be oceans, if that makes sense. It definitely doesn't make sense to me, so I wouldn't blame you. Look, so we got plains here. Plains is still at 0.1. That's a river. You can tell by that it's a very vivid green for the grass. But again, that's definitely like an ocean, isn't it? That's so weird. We've just basically converted oceans into mountains and look at those. Ooh. That is funky. The ground here makes no sense. I find it really odd that you get things like trees, poppies, and dandelions spawning in ocean biomes. Is that like a beach? Yeah, look, it's a beach. And then the river is like a little hill in between the beaches. Oh, this is so odd. If you haven't figured it out already, I love doing this, by the way. I've started to really enjoy messing around with world gen stuff. Pixel art is so COVID, and COVID's kind of ending now, I hope. I don't really know. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I really like this, though. The oceans are just kind of like hills. And because of Celeste, the grass colour is quite nice as well. That's a strange one. Okay, so this is our third test. Not the final test for sure, but it's going to be an interesting one. And I'm already starting to see some really good results. I'm getting like a... Yo, is that a river? Oh, it's so cool. Oh my god, I love it. So for this test, we have plains with 2, and this is plains with a height scale of 2. Again, this is 4 times what mountains would usually be in vanilla, so we've gone from that roughly 72, 73 to 101. So we have plains biomes that are already much bigger than mountain biomes. I think this looks really cool, actually. We have forests with 3.0, so it's just to have the slight... We have forests with a slight variation, so 3.0 for the forest, so it's kind of like a staggered effect. So plains, then plains, then forest. I mean, they are mountains. Plains, then forests, then mountains. We have oceans with -5, because I wanted to see how... Holy shit. Imagine landing on that thing. I'm getting... what the film? The film where there's a bunch of old people that kill everyone. Hot Fuzz. I'm getting Hot Fuzz vibes from that. If you know, you know. So yeah, oceans with -5 and rivers with -0.5. So I'm hoping that the rivers will actually work as normal, even though they are a bit different to usual. Holy shit, these mountains are huge. They're absolutely ginormous. So yeah, let me see. Is this a... Yeah, so there's a river somewhere in there at least. Look at the wooded hills. The wooded hills isn't as high up as the plains. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. I love that we get this little plateau though whenever there's a forest. It makes you realize how scarcely forests actually spawn among plains. But look at this though. I think this looks really cool. We've got this kind of... Whoa. Oh. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Wait, is that just me? Is that the generation being bad? Or was I already here, maybe? I can't think why I would have already been here, so we'll just roll with that. But yeah, look at these mountains, though. I must have already been here. There's like a straight cut-off. Yeah, I'm going to assume I was already here in the past. Let's move further into the mountains. So mountains now have a depth scale of 7, which is quite mad. The kind of like average height here is 179. So that's quite cool. This is kind of what... Whoa. I love this like valley effect. This is kind of what I envision mountains will look like. Why are they so dark? The trees are so dark up here. It's weird. This is kind of what I envision the mountains will look like in 117. That's why I'm specifically avoiding doing this big update for Artibus just yet, because we might get something like this in the future. I highly doubt it, but you know, we can dream. So maybe we'll get something. But this looks awesome, though. Like, look at that giant waterfall. It's so nice. I love this idea of having rivers be really low down and there being like a straight cutoff whenever you have like land masses. I'm definitely going to try and do something like that in the future with Artibus for sure. But as you can see here, we can only change a very small number of values and we already get a huge change in how the terrain looks. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Like, This is obviously not practical. These mountains are too big. I tested yesterday with mountains on a 4 depth scale, and they were probably still a little bit too big, but they did look awesome. But this is epic, though. Imagine if we could have some sort of, like, staggering effect where eventually you will get to a peak that high, but it's a very, very, like, you know, it's more sloped than this. So you don't just get this kind of, like, straight cliff face wherever you are. That looks awesome. That's a thumbnail right there. That's on the thumbnail, boys. Have fun. But yeah, I think this is awesome, though. I think we should do one final test, and then I think we'll call it quits for today. But this is kind of like what I'm planning on doing a lot of in Artibus in the future. It's very fun stuff, and I find it quite exciting. I just find it incredible how easily you can affect the terrain by changing only a very small number of values. I think it's awesome. Okay, so for this final test, I have gone to some massive extremes. We now have plains with a base height of 4, forest with a depth of 6, rivers and oceans are back to their vanilla states with -0.5 and -1 respectively, and finally mountains are at 12. So I'm going to be really excited to see how this works. Or I didn't reload the game. No. This is what you have to do every time. Data packs can't be reloaded, unfortunately. So you have world generation data packs can't be reloaded. So you have to go back to your single player world and then say, I know what I'm doing. And then it will load all the new data correctly. So I've got to go TP Excalibur 100,000. There we go. So now we should have the new stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if I spawn in a wall. Oh, okay, we're fine. And there's a Savannah Biome here. Very pretty. I love the Celesti grass colors. It's so good. Okay, so we've got to find ourselves a plains biome first of all. And judging how these biomes usually spawn, we should be able to find a forest and a map. Okay. That's a good start. So plains now have a depth of 4, forests with 6, and mountains with 12. So I'm very interested to see how these are going to look. I just realized a really interesting one to see would actually be Shattered Savannah. I bet you could see some really interesting formations with that. And once again, we're getting the plateau effect. So every time you have a plains biome, it comes up to this level, and then the forest is just a little bit of a bump, like a plateau in the middle of that setup. I'm really not sure what to expect with mountains. I've never tried a depth scale of this magnitude before. 12 depth scale. This is a desert down here. Getting that valley effect again. I love that effect when you have two large mountains and you have a much smaller basin in the center. I think it can look really good. Looks like we're not getting any sort of mountain around here though, so I'm going to do locate biome mountains. Thank God for this new command. It's so helpful. Let's see what we get. I have a feeling I'm just going to be in the floor, but we'll find out. Oh, no, okay, I'm good. Okay. Oh my lord, what level is this? 208, and this is like a tiny spire as well. If that was a larger landmass, I guarantee you'll be up to world height by this point. Let's see if we can find a big... Oh my, this is a pathetic mountain range as well. We've got to find a bigger one in a second. How far does this come up though? It's not actually world height, it's just below world height. What am I doing? If we went 3 blocks up, we're at build limit. That's kind of interesting. We've got to find some other mountains, though. This is really cool, but it's not a very good example, is it? I'm going to TP myself away again. TP, Excalibur, location 100,000, and then we'll do locate biome, mountains, and we'll try again. That's not the right one, is it? Is that the right one? Yes, it is. Let's go. I think the world's not loading. Okay, here we go. These are looking quite small again. I'm wondering if by changing these values too much, maybe we're making the biome difficult to spawn or something? I don't really know. What is this down here? This is like modified gravelly mountain. Oh, whoa. Modified gravelly mountains down there. I just love how tiny the Wooded Hills biome is now, because it's supposed to be raised up considerably, but it's just not. This looks awesome. This must be world height. Yeah, this is world height, right? 255, yeah, that should be right. Let me see, can I build up any further? Oh, one block. That's kind of lucky. I feel like if we would have gone any higher, we'd just have a straight cutoff right at the top here, but it's just about stopped properly. And I'm really surprised that my computer can handle this. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Thank God for Optifine. It's definitely helping. But I really should try and get sodium, to be honest. Look at these mountains, dude. They are utterly huge. This is awesome. That's, again, another screenshot material right there. Gonna have to get that. I love the big waterfalls. That is awesome. There's definitely... Look at this. There's definitely potential there with the waterfalls, for sure. I kind of want to get, like, one... one of these valleys. Oh, that looks like it's going to be quite nice. Welcome back to Scal Takes Screenshots on video, because why not? It's kind of cool. This is awesome. Now that's good, with the mountains in the background as well. What kind of forest is that? Because it's low down. We've got to check in a second. There we go. Is that like a... Oh, it's wooded, it's wooded hills again. Right, okay. I feel like if we were going to actually do something properly with this exact concept of having the tiered plains, forest, mountains type thing, we'd have to, incorporate the wooded hills and the wooded mountains and things like that as well, and it would definitely look pretty cool, for sure. That is awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little showcase. It's very, very cool how you can change the terrain so drastically with such minimal effort. All I've done here is just include 5 biomes in my data pack and adjust the depth values for them, and you get results like this, and I think it looks absolutely awesome. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you are interested in Artibus, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I'll be getting into world generation in the very near future. And until then, we're going to be working on some more data pack things. Definitely things along the lines of recipes, mechanics, entities, and all that kind of fun stuff. And we are actually looking into dimensions at some point in the future as well, so it's going to get a lot more fun from here on out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It does definitely help me out. We are approaching 1,000 subscribers very quickly, and I'm very excited to reach that milestone. So yeah, if you want to join in the conversation or speak to me directly, then you're welcome to join the Discord server. The link is in the description as always. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.